Hi guys, Mitch King with Trade Stocks America. Great day for the longs today. Here's the Dow 30 up 0.43%, which was the weakest of all the indexes. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq Composite, up over 1.1% today, kind of making up for it being weaker the last day or two. So this is kind of breaking out into a higher high, looking real healthy here. And the S&P 500, a little more representative of what stocks did today, up about 0.8% or 0.8%. Real strong move, clearly a higher high today. And look at the Russell 2000, up 2% today, which is pretty rare for any type of index. This is the small cap group, which has a lot of volatility. So stocks are moving up really well. We're thinking this is going to last, could be for 2 or 3 weeks. We've got a lot of momentum building off of this economic reports in the last week or so, and today's pending home sales was very positive, very big surprise. A gain of 8.3% pending home sales for February. The market was expecting a 1% drop. The ISM Services Index also jumped quite a bit higher, the fastest rate of growth in, I believe, over 4 years. So we've got a lot of momentum building, and it seems like we're going to be steadily moving up on a gradual basis. I'm going to guess at 2 or 3 weeks in a row, maybe a slight pullback, but nothing to be too concerned about. This is all assumptions and forecasts based off assuming there's no big bad news coming down the pipe or any type of world crisis like a war breakout or something like that. But so far, looking really good. Let's take a look at some oil stocks. Here's Rig, Transocean. All these oil stocks are benefiting from Obama's commitment that he made last week that offshore drilling is going to be allowed around the U.S. So a lot of this whole oil sector is really moving up. In addition to the fact that oil has moved up to over $87 per barrel from about $77 a couple weeks ago. And this is because the economy is recovering, and this is anticipating that there'll be a higher demand and so on, and that's driving the oil stocks as well as that release that Obama allowed on the offshore drilling. It was sort of a negotiated give and take to try to get some other things, and that's just the way politics works. Here's Suncor. We don't have this on the stock table. We've had it long several times in the last year or so, but here's an example of 5 really strong days in a row. It looks like to me that this sector may not cool off quite as rapidly as I was thinking originally, and I'm thinking that this may kind of more curve off more flatter as opposed to just a straight sharp drop. But my suggestion is to start selling off your rig, and there's a couple oil stocks on the report in the last few days. Here's Noble Energy, here's Noble Corp, an oil and gas drilling exploration. Same chart pattern, really strong. Another one called EOG Resources, and look at CLR, Continental Resources. These are smaller independent oil and gas companies. This stock's really been on a hot run, 37 to 45. We didn't see this till late, but we just try to follow this sector. Here's HOS, Hornbeck Offshore. It's a shipping company. Look for maybe another 1 or 2 up days. This is real strong. It's made a higher high than this point here on March 9th. So this could very well continue to move up. And again, I think it'll be more gradual. You're just going to have to watch this market and see if it just does a reverse, what I call a tail slide, when an airplane stalls and starts going backwards. I don't think this oil sector is going to correct quite so sharply like these bull shorts. In fact, let's go straight to that DCTH bull short. This was a stock that I personally was short, closed it today, didn't like it. I don't like it making higher highs and moving up toward that $9 figure. This should have gone down to 8 to 8.10. In my mind, these are kind of forecasts. It should go on to a lower low, or really broke below the $8 figure in the 7s. And when it didn't do that, oh, this just looks really strong. So I'd stand aside and close that. After reading some of the older reports on this, I think people are waiting for this company to release FDA Phase 3 data. And if that's the case, and they're not selling off of that, because it sure didn't act right today. It should have sold off and had a fall through. So they're not selling, and that means we need to stand aside. Don't worry about that profit you have or what kind of losses. And you really shouldn't have much of a loss at all. but I would really stand aside on this until that news comes out. And keep an eye and put an alarm on this stock to wake you up at $9 or 9.1. And I'm assuming that you close that short position, then set your alarm. I'm not suggesting that you hold this short and let it go up to 9.1 because that'd not be a good idea. Now here's a short of WIMGI that we've had it on the stock table as a short. This is rebound today. The market's really strong. You know, eventually it may go down, but there's pretty limited potential profit on this in this market. A few other highlights. Here's SanDisk up 3.7%. Didn't make a higher high, but it could here in the next few days. Real strong looking here. Here's BT, got over 19, looking for this to move toward 20. Here's Dendrion, the stock we talked about last night that we're looking for a move up, and we got a higher high, up 3.1% as you can see in the upper right-hand corner, or $1.17. Nice move right in here. Looking for this to continue to move up here. We want to see these long positions that we have where the stock chart's on the upper right-hand corner of your chart. Here's CMI up 5.3% today. Really strong move here. Just like this real steady uptrend. This is Cummins engines. Make those big diesel engines for trucks, motorhomes, semi-trucks. Here's another oil stock on the top list. Should get over that $25 here in the next couple days, $25.50. Here's ROK, made a higher high. Kind of been stuck here the last few weeks, starting to break out now. MDR up 1.6%, real steady uptrend. Here's HSIC, Henry Schein up 1.2%, higher high today, looking really strong. Here's that UNG, which is an ETF, a U.S. natural gas, up 5% today. Don't expect this to hold. This thing's going to sell right off here. Probably I'd recommend starting to close this tomorrow. Just stand aside. Don't look for a home run on this one. There's so much inventory of natural gas and sources. This is not like oil, although I think it's following the oil play. Close that long tomorrow. PTRY, that retail grocery stores. You can see all those stocks on the stock table are moving up here. When you got a market like it's doing now with this economic news it's been driving it last week or so, we're going to see the dartboard method start to work. But there was a little bit of a risk to put so many longs on the stock table, but everything seems to be working out on the economic reports, and you kind of go with those trends of what stocks have been doing. We've had a higher high. Clue to this has been when we broke through to that high above this January, and it was done right in there. That's your sign that the coast is clear for a while. You'll start to get some more buying as this goes to a higher high. This was a pretty big deep drop here for a month, and it shakes out the weak players and the people break below some technical indicators. But when we started that rebound, then the clear thing to do was to watch to see which point it was going to go to. Is it going to go higher than this one? And as soon as that did that, it kept climbing up right in here. And then the next point to look for is this high, and we've got that going on right now. So you guys take care, put the odds in your favor, don't get leveraged. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.